Doodlebud. We're checking out this lovely little pen today. This is the Ensso Piuma in Ultem. Lovely little pen. I have several Ensso pens and I haven't had any problems really with any of them whatsoever. So this is a classic model he has, the Piuma. Very round, very minimalist, and a very comfortable pen. This time we got the Ultem version. I'll show you the other one I have here as well, and we'll do a quick little comparison, writing sample as always. So let's get into it. Now this particular pen was sent to me by Carlo over at Ensso. It's just ensso.com, and here's a cool thing he set up. Use the code Doodlebud. It saves you 20%. So that really starts to make things attractive. What you see is what you get, folks. As you see, it's pretty simple. A minimalist design. Most of his designs sort of take that approach to things. No, as far as verbiage or logos on the finials, nothing like that. There is down in here in the section here at the end of it, that's the only spot on the entire pen. There we go. That says Ensso on here somewhere. There it is right there. That's probably laser engraved, something like that. But other than that, you don't, if you just found this pen on the ground, you wouldn't know who made it. So he keeps things very, very subtle, very sleek. But they work extremely well. The Ultem model here, it's sort of a bit of a demonstrator, but it has that yellow tint to it. I think it looks really sharp. Some people don't like it because they say it reminds them of pee. I get it, but I think it looks good. I have no problems with it as well. You can get, I've seen different pens, they'll have a frosted sort of look like this one does. Some they'll get polished. I really like the material. Ultem is a really strong engineered plastic. Like, this is really good for a pocket pen. Daily carry, like you can drop this thing, it's light, it's not gonna crack. Well, there's always limits, okay? Don't try to find the limit. But this is one, if you just want to chuck it into your bag, you're kind of rough with your stuff, this is a really good pen for that. You're not gonna have to worry about those types of things. Ultem can take a pretty rugged approach to handling the pen, so it's great for that type of stuff. It is fitted with a number 6 size Bach nib. This has the black nib. You can also get them in the regular steel nibs as well. But if you like sort of the contrast, I think the contrast actually does look quite nice in this case here with the Ultem pen. Open it up, as you saw already. Cartridge converter. It comes with one for sure. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2 cartridges, but also comes with a converter and your standard converter in here as well. So you've seen all these components before. Has a little O-ring on here. If you're daring and like to eyedropper, feel free to do that. This is eyedropper friendly. I will make a little note. The O-ring doesn't seem to have as much friction as I would want, just to really feel 100% certain with eyedroppering. I am super paranoid about eyedroppering, so look in the comments below. Some other folks have this pen and they eyedropper it, if they've had issues or not. I avoid eyedropper, and I'm just terrified of the whole idea. But that's the only thing on the whole entire pen. I'd say if that just was a touch more snug on the O-ring, that would make me feel a little bit better. But everything just fits in nice and easy. It comes apart nice and easy. So, the one thing, if I'm not going to do it, what the hell, I'll do it. I'll put Bay State Blue in this one because you can use isopropyl alcohol to clean the pen. Right, so you can't use acetone, but you can use isopropyl alcohol, IPA, to clean out this pen. So if you like Bay State Blue and want a pen that requires a little more solvent here to clean out the color, this would be a one for it. Now, if you want to eyedropper it, I'm not going to do that. But if you are just out of your mind and like to keep a pen in your pocket full of Bay State Blue, go for it. It unscrews, so if you have a different Bach nib unit that you want to swap in, swap out, you can go ahead and do that. That's what he has across his whole line of pens. We got another one over here. So if I like the nib on that one, want to put it in this one, you can just unscrew and do it that way. Also, you can, as always, avoid it as often as you can. I'm just doing it for the video here, but you can pull out the nib and feed if you have to give it a thorough cleaning, or if you're having an issue, or just what. Keep in mind when you put it back in, it's keyed. So we have a key that runs along here in the bottom, and a little notch down there. Line those up, drive it home, away you go. So this is just an easy pen to work with. Comes apart, no problems. What I'll do now, I'll just put this back together. We'll do a size comparison. I'll ink it up with Bay State Blue, and I will do a writing sample. So uninked with the cap on. Here we go. We got the pen. Let's call that 18 grams. You're going to write with the cap off on this one. So, I mean, yeah, it doesn't really post. It does go on, but it will kind of wiggle over time and come loose. So it's not really meant to be posted. I wouldn't post it. So we had 18 like so. Add, let's say, about 1 gram if you have it full of ink. And then we got 13 3/4 like that. And when you are uncapping, the cap comes off in 1 and about 1/4 turn. So nice and quick. Got a few type of minimalist design pens to compare with. Here we have the Good Blue L130, the Gravitas Entry. Now we got the Ensso Piuma. This is the Eureka pen that was sent to me. This is in their Peak plastic. And another Ensso pen, the Italia titanium version. Now, if you look on his site, it will not look like this because this is a custom anodized job I did myself. There is a Italia model that looks like this because it has a special resin, but this is kind of the effect you can do on titanium. If you, I got a video, I'll put a link in the description if you want to see how I did that. Here we are with the same pens, all with the caps off. So it's a nice kind of medium-sized pen, I guess similar to the L130. And this is the Mahjong A1, just for a bit of a reference. I'll give you the physical dimensions of the pen real quick as well. We have 140 millimeters like so, pop off the cap. You're going to write it like this way. You left about 127.3 diameter of the pen. So the main body here, the thickest part of the body, about 15 millimeters. You have a section, I'm going from the start of the threads here, about 25 millimeters long and tapers from 12.5 down to 10.5 millimeters. So yeah, I don't know anyone that would have trouble gripping this pen, whatever your preference is. If you want to go a little higher staggered or high gripper, even if you grip right on the threads, there's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. They're very pleasant. It is an Acme style thread, so you can see that type of squarish profile to it. There's a little closer look to it there. Now, one thing it doesn't have is something called a Higby cut. So you can see there's at the end of my fingernail there, if you can stand to look at it, but we got the end, the very start, the lead in of the thread. One minor improvement now, it has to do with machining. It would cost a bit more to do it, but it essentially cuts off square at the front, a little taper up. You find that on a fire hose. Those are the type of threads they use there. And the reason for that is they don't ever bind when you start them off. It just goes in straight clean. I don't have a problem with this one whatsoever. I've had it on some metal pens that are like this where it can just catch a little bit off, but I don't actually have that in the Ultem. It's very, very, very smooth. So that'd be the only recommendation on it, but I mean, it doesn't really need the update anyways. Okay, but here we go. Let's get stupid. Let's do this. Let's put the Bay State Blue in there. Shake it up. I have a tissue handy. Not that it's gonna matter. All right, please don't burp on me. Okay, so far so good. Oh, nervous already. In we go. I will put the lid on immediately with this one. You know, I thought it might stain it going in, but it hasn't. That's just ink that's kind of gone down in between the section and the collar, I think, something like that. But it actually hasn't stained this so far. Might as well test out this paper while we're doing this as well, because this would be a good test. If you can handle Bay State Blue, you can handle probably most inks. I bought this book at a store in the mall called Umomo. It's a Japanese store, all sorts of fun stuff in there. And of course, being a fountain pen nerd, the most exciting thing to do is check out the paper, because paper's so exciting. But I find these books, there's the information down there. You can see these go for like $2.95, even bigger sizes. I picked up some larger sizes, but like the medium size and the larger sizes, all $2.95. And so I had to get a few. So we'll try out this paper. If it's bad and bleeds like crazy, I'll get out some Rodeo. So here's a look at the writing sample. The pen writes just perfectly. This paper is feathering just a hair there, you can see. And Bay State Blue does cause some issues for some papers, so maybe not as resilient as, say, Rhodia. Here's the pen on the Rhodia paper, and you can see, yeah, no feathering on there. So a little bit better quality paper, but for the $2.95, not too shabby. Bay State Blue is a bit of a oddball case. You could see with the wetness I did here, I did it first and it's not as wet. That's because I hesitated. I was thinking, do I actually want to get Bay State Blue on my finger on purpose? I caved and did it again there anyways, but yeah, a little bit more wet on the Rhodia. It seems it doesn't absorb into the paper as quick, but yeah, I'll do some more testing on this paper in a subsequent video, but I'm excited with it so far. So that's it. I don't know what else to tell you other than, I guess, well, the price. So you can check it on their website as well. But at the time of this video, this lists for $95 US. Of course, you use the Doodlebud code, and that saves you an extra $20. So whatever the math is on that, what, $76 it works out to US? That's pretty darn good. Get a Bach nib. Ultem, really good construction, writes wonderfully. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with these pens, and you know, I don't know, is this like a fantastic Bay State Blue pen? The fact it's Ultem and you can use some isopropyl alcohol to clean it out, maybe this is a good candidate for those kind of troublesome inks out there. So that's it, folks. Thanks again to Ensso for sending me their Puma and Ultem for review. More than happy to chat with you in the comments, but especially if you hit subscribe, give it a try. We'll leave it there for now, and we'll catch you next time.